Apathy kills in Chennai, where a 17-year-old, his name was Nafeel, he got electrocuted in Chennai. A tuition trip that turned fatal for this Chennai boy, only 17 years of age. A student where a live electric wire in pool of water that took his life. Chennai Apathy murder of a 17-year-old who has been reported dead. Nafeel was declared dead as soon as he was taken to the hospital in Chennai, and the doctors declared him brought dead. Residents say that there was no help from the electricity department despite them raising complaints for a while. Anguished father who laments for justice. In fact, the father has said that it is the government apathy that has killed my son. There is massive outrage over this incident. The family demands justice. Locals up in arms, asking who is accountable. And this boy, who did not deserve to lose his life like this, just 17 years old, a student who had gone for his tuition trip.
Terrible neglect and apathy by the officers in Tamil Nadu's electricity department has resulted in the death of a 17-year-old Nafeel who was returning home from his tuition center. I just want to show you some very clear visuals that we have and about to show you on our camera of how electricity got discharged into a pool of stagnated water over here. That blue cable that you see, that's a perfectly fine cable. But the cable next to it that has the plastic coating completely ripped off, and there's copper wire that's coming out of it. That is what caused the electricity to leak into a pool of stagnated water. And yesterday when Nafeel was returning from his tuition, he stepped into this pool of water here because he was just about to enter his home. This is where Nafeel used to reside and his mother was inside. As soon as he was walking from his tuition center to get back to his home, he stepped into that patch of land that we showed you, and that's where he immediately screamed and collapsed on the floor because of the heavy electrocution that he had to undergo. We are hearing from the residents over here that there was some kind of work that was being done, and this patch of road was being dug up in order to lay a concrete road over here. This concrete tiles that you see, that's the reason why there was some kind of work going on, and in that process there was some kind of neglect and damage done to those to those cables over there, which went unfixed. That's the reason why electricity started leaking from this particular cable that we showed you. That resulted in 17-year-old Mohammed Nafeel's unfortunate, tragic death. I also want to take you through some of the residents over here who reside in this particular street. They say that for the last 10 days, whenever they stood on this particular patch of land, they used to feel minor shocks. Attempts were being done to reach out to the electricity board and inform them to come and fix this. Either the calls went unanswered, or somebody used to pick up the call and tell them that they would send linemen, but nothing was being done. A severe and a shocking case of civic apathy that's being displayed by officers. I just want to take you to Satish Kumar, who resides in this particular street. He also made multiple calls, we believe, but to no avail. Sir, நீங்க 10 நாளா கால் பண்ணேன்னு சொன்னீங்க ஆபீசர்ஸ்க்கு. அவங்க என்ன பதில் சொன்னாங்க? ஏதாச்சும் பதில்?
எந்த ரெஸ்பான்சிபிளும் கொடுக்கல அவங்க. வந்து கூட எட்டி கூட பார்க்கல.
அந்த சம்பவம் நடக்கிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி கால் பண்ணீங்க?
ஆமா, முன்னாடி கால் பண்ணதுதான். நான் ஒண்டி எல்லாரும் இங்க இருக்கிறவங்க எல்லாரும் கால் பண்ணி இருக்காங்க. யாருமே வரல ஒருத்தர் கூட.
ஃபோன் பண்றா அட்டெண்ட் பண்ண மாட்டாங்க ஃபர்ஸ்ட்.
அட்டெண்ட் பண்றது இல்ல, எடுத்துட்டு அப்படியே போனை கீழே வச்சிரறாங்க. வேற எதுவுமே கிடையாது.
நீங்க எப்பலாம் அங்க நின்னீங்களோ ஏதோ ஷாக் அடிச்சதுன்னு சொன்னீங்க.
லைட்டா ஷாக். இது ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பல்ல நோண்டிட்டு மூடிட்டு பிறகு அப்பலாம் வரல. லைட்டா மழை தண்ணி கிண்ணி ஏதாவது பட்டுதான் அந்த இடத்துல எர்த் மட்டும் வந்தது. அப்படியே கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமா ஃபயர் ஆயிட்டு இருக்குது உள்ளே.
நீங்க அங்க நிக்கும்போது அந்த ஷாக் ஃபீல் ஆச்சு?
லைட்டா ஃபீல் ஆச்சு.
அந்த ஷாக் ஃபீல் ஆயி நீங்க ஆபீசர்ஸ்க்குலாம் கால் பண்ணீங்க?
10 நாளைக்கு முன்னே நாங்க கால் பண்ணி சொல்லிட்டோம். ஆனா எதுவுமே நடக்கல.
That is a shocking case of apathy that you're seeing over here. The kind of indifference that's just unimaginably costed the life of a 17-year-old boy. They are saying that the ones who picked up the landline just used to not respond, or it went unattended, or worse, used to pick up and then hang up the phone. That's the kind of shocking indifference that you're seeing over here that has resulted in a death of a teenager boy. In fact, this is also a school where students living here used to go there for Urdu learning tuition. In fact, the backside of this road also has another tuition center to which Nafeel used to go regularly for his tuition lessons. He was on his way back home, and when he stood here, it was also raining heavily, and that's when he has undergone a severe case of electrocution, resulting in spot death. With camera person Divyan, Anaga Keshav reporting for India Today from Chennai.
And there you saw that entire ground report of the turn of events of how Nafeel lost his life. 17 years old, a student who was studying, trying to make a life, trying to make something better of his future. But this is how his life ended. And exactly what has happened here, more deaths could have occurred. In fact, those living there say that they called the electricity department several times, but the calls either remained unattended or were insensitively disconnected. Cutting across to Anagha, who is now joining us live. Anagha, it is extremely shameful to how there is no value of life, and a young 17-year-old boy who had just gone there to study. Right outside his home, he loses his life. Why? Because those wires were exposed. In fact, this was one. More lives could have been lost given how that entire area remained unattended. And the fact that the neighbors kept calling the electricity department, these families said that please attend to this particular area. It could be a trap of death. But all those calls were not answered.
Well, right, Suesha. In fact, there seems to be no value for human life here when it comes to North Chennai. We are hearing from residents over here that for the last 10 days, whenever they stood on any patch of land on this particular street, they used to feel minor shocks. Even here, when we were reporting, a lot of residents came here to alert us to not stand in this particular street because we are bound to feel minor shocks, because a few weeks back, this entire street was dug up in order to lay these cobblestones that we are standing on. And in that operation, a few cable wires that are running underground, they were damaged, and those people who were working on that did not even bother to fix those damaged wires that they had been working on. It's because of their bad work why the cables that are running underground had gotten damaged, but there was absolutely no concern in the world to fix what they had damaged in their own hands, and that has resulted in the death of a 17-year-old boy. In fact, I have another resident with me. She lives in this particular street. She was just telling us about how they had been facing electric shocks in the last 10 days. Amma, neenga in the street la irukken sonninga 10 naala in electric shock feel aayittu irundha. 10 days
Apologize, I'm having to interrupt you here as you continue to get us more voices, but Mr. Narayan Tirupati from the BJP joins us on the phone line. Your word on this loss of life, 17-year-old boy electrocuted. Why? Because the authorities did not pay attention.
Authority, the corporation people have not done anything, and you see, for the last 4 years, the roads are not laid. Very basically, the roads are not laid, and the rainwater, whenever small rain comes, the entire street is getting flooded. So, this is totally a maladministration, mismanagement of the corporation, and they talk so much, but they have not done anything. This has led to a loss of life, that to a 17-year-old boy. This is absolutely atrocious, and it is highly condemnable. Who is going to take accountability for this? The chief minister, or the mayor, or the corporation? Who is that? Every time, these kind of accidents happen, these kind of things happen, they say so many excuses, but it is a very blatant thing. It is very clear that the management, the administration has failed. It is a total failure of the DMK government.